So the next thing I want to tackle is actually repairing, well, not repairing, I guess renovating the actual tape recorder. I have been struggling to read some of the data cassettes, so I'm going to do some separate work on those ones. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is I want to go in and clean up this mechanism, change the belts on it, clean the heads down on it, and see if I can just improve the overall operational health of this particular tape drive. So it's quite easy to get into. Essentially, there are 4 screws here that need to be removed, and then I think the lids pop off. So let me do that, and I'll come back to it and show you what it looks like once I've taken. Here's the inside of the mechanism. As you can see, this is one of the tape drive. So this is the main capstan wheel and the main drive. It still looks in pretty good condition, but I'm going to change it. And then this will be the counter wheel down here that will also move the counters. And you can also see some of the other connections. So it's interesting that it's got a connection here with regards to plugging it in, but I guess the main point of connection is down here. I will take off the mechanism because I do want to get into the heads, and I do want to just clean down the heads as well. So I will probably just pop this particular belt off. The other belt I'll leave in place. I've got some more belts coming in the post for another project, and I will check out which is the most appropriate belt to be used on that one. So internally it doesn't look too bad, and I'll look forward to cleaning down the heads and sorting it all out shortly. So this is the Commodore 64 tape player. As you can see, it's a little bit filthy inside, so we'll clean it up with some isopropyl alcohol. There's your record feature. There's the LED showing the record. I will clean the capstan wheel down with some, again, rubber renew. This is the little drive belt that looks after the counter. So we'll just take this one out. Should be fairly easy just to slide it underneath here. I'm hoping maybe if I go this way around, it might be quicker and easier to go out. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So there's that little belt which looks after the counter. Let's just measure it, see what sort of size it is. A thin belt. So it's fairly big. It's around about 8 centimeters. This one could be the right sort of size. Sorry about that, camera. It's a little bit thicker, but it's only a tape counter, so it shouldn't put too much loading on it. Let's go out. Yeah, I think that will work. So let's feed that through. So that's the odd one out of the way. Put these ones to one side. Let's feed this through here. So, oh, I could have just done that because it just lifts up. There we go. Fits nicely on that one. Probably a little bit too big, but okay, let's go around this way first. Okay, on to you. So that will run quite nice and smoothly. Main drive belt, that's quite a big one, and it's quite thick as well. So let's just take you off, feed you around here. That's the main drive, quite a large one. I'm going to go for one of my largest. Go for this one here, probably about the same sort of size. Let's measure it for you all. So that's showing me around about 13. You can see it's quite kinked there. So let's go for this one. You can see this is going to be we've got 13, so it's about the same size. So it's not as thick by any stretch, but it should still work okay. Around the capstan, around here. Oh, jumps off. Try that again. Really want to get it round this one first. Keep the tension on it. Should work out okay. I say it's a little bit on the thin side, but pretty sure it's going to have the ability to drive that okay. Yeah, so you can see there, it's certainly getting the grip. So that's these changed. To say I will clean some of this down with isopropyl alcohol just to get the dust out of it, clean it all up, and then I'll button it back up, put it back together. May just clean down some of these. As I say, I'll put some rubber renew on this one. Capstan wheel looks okay. Might just clean that down with some isopropyl as well. The various mechanisms seem to move okay. I might clean that down and just put a little bit of oil on it. Heads look clean. Yeah, overall I think it looks okay. So I moved outside, used a rubber renew. I haven't used any 3-in-1 oil, it didn't need it, but as you can see we've cleaned it all up. The pinch roller was filthy. Here is some of the gunk that came off it, and as you can see I've cleaned it all down. All of the buttons are now a little bit cleaner, not a lot cleaner, but a little bit cleaner. Just using good old Q-tips just to clean out in between these particular hard to reach places, but even then you can see how filthy some of this stuff actually is underneath here. Now the case is in a pretty sorry state, so I'm going to use some wet and dry sandpaper just to sand back some of these burn marks from the plastic. So it's because of this wrapped around it, it's caused it to melt. So I'm just going to clean up the surface. I'm going to sand all over the top of it. I'm not going to sand this, I'm just going to leave this as is. And then we'll put it back together and I'll test it out. Right, before the big reveal of how this looks, I'm just going to fit this player back in. So it's got 4 screws. Appear to have 2 gold and 2 silver. No idea which ones go where, so I'm going to put the silver ones on the rear and the gold ones at the front and just see if that works out. But they go here, here, around the back here, and here. So we'll see how that looks, and then I'll do the big reveal of what it looks like after it's all been okay. Here's the rear of it. So I didn't bother doing anything on this, but I did sand down this area here and clean that up. So here's the big reveal then. What do you think? So you can see there's still a pretty big scar mark here. Obviously it's got the scarring across here and the scarring here and across here, but you know, compared to how it was, 100% better. It really is so much nicer. So there's the play button, there's our eject. We will try it and see if it still works.